Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Stockport County. I'm here on the season preview screen. You'll understand why in a bit, mainly because it's now got us as the 20th favourite for the league for some reason. We were 14th in the last episode. I don't think it's actually adjusted the number per se, simply the position that we're supposed to be in, which is going to be even more surprising when you look at what's actually happened this month. Billericay should be fairly simple. Conveniently forgets their 20 grand a week wage budget. Yeah, but you say that, but we played them in the first season when they had that budget, and we beat them comfortably in the cup when we were in the same level as them. So I guess I just figured the whole, prowess of us being a higher division team would help. Didn't really, did it? Shaping up to be a very dramatic and exciting end of the season. Shame about Barnet, they just looked unstoppable. This is from last season, but I wanted to just quickly talk about this because I looked, and some of you might have seen this on Twitter, at Barnet's run towards the end of that year. And I know we did, but I actually had a look at it properly. And if you include the game against us and get rid of the Aldershot game at the end of the season, they went through a spell where they won 19 of their last 22 matches. 19 wins in 22 games, and there's a draw in there too. No wonder they won the bloody league. I wonder how they're actually doing so far in this league. Probably not as good as us, to be honest. You can see I'm smiling, so let's just get straight into the fixtures that we've played in this period. We've got a game against Bradford today, who have not started particularly strongly at all. Let's just go. So our first home game of the season was at home against Colchester United. I could not believe this, to be honest. We were fantastic. This was like a performance we'd had in the National League, frankly. Magoma was superb. Goals from Che Tilt and Shadipo. These two really have shaken things up a little bit. They look a cut above. This was actually Che Tilt cutting inside on his left foot and bending one in the top corner to give us the lead before Shadipo gave us a late one. It's one of those things where we just look like we've settled into this league very, very nicely. The players, for the most part, are performing quite well. Everything is looking very, very nice. And 2 back-to-back clean sheets. The slight downside to this game, and I say slight in that it was a massive downside, is that Kane Hemmings went off injured after 13 minutes. I can't remember what the injury was. I think it was a groin problem, but he's going to be out for 5 weeks. I then brought on JTB to replace him, who then went off injured not that long after. Actually, it was in the second half. He missed a week as well. So we actually ended up playing Simon Thorpe up top for the next match. Although it didn't appear to be that important, as we then went out in the next match away to Chesterfield, who were doing well at that point in the season, but they weren't predicted to finish that high, I don't think. And we got the win again. Connor DeMayo this time getting a goal. I think Regan Booty got the assist on that one before Darren Stevenson, of all people, came off the bench to get us a late, not the winner, the late icing on the cake here. So he has now scored a goal in the Football League, Dazza. He's scored in all 3 seasons for us, and I don't think he's going to be around that much this season, but it's just nice to see him do it. Also, notice that Lewis McGugan now plays for Chesterfield. Don't know how much he costs them, but he was the player of the year last year in the National League, so they've obviously got a good player there, and he did not have a very good game. Simon Thorpe actually got the assist for Darren Stevenson's goal too, so it's really nice to see. Is he 16 or 17? He's not an old man, that's for sure. He's 16 years old, looks pretty solid, more of a target man type of player, but he got an assist on his debut. I think it was his debut anyway, but what a performance from Simon Thorpe. It's not Simon Thorpe, Chris Thorpe. Simon Ford and Chris Thorpe. I get those two confused. To continue the ridiculous start to the season, we went away to Walsall in the Carabao Cup, fell behind early on through Paddy Madden. This was a very, very even game, it has to be said. I thought Walsall were going to run away with it when Madden scored, but we got back level through Shadipo again, his second of the season. He's stepping in a lot more than Jason Banton did, who, interestingly, has handed in a transfer request because he's unhappy with the amount of football he's played. He did it after 2 matches. 2 matches! But he did put in an absolute stonky performance. If you actually look at the stats here on key passes and chances created, Che Tilt and Shadipo are absolutely destroying teams in places in this league. And this was a League One side, which really, really did amaze me. Jaden Anthony came off the bench to score a late one for us, where he actually took it round the goalkeeper to make it 2-1 and not finish things off, but get us the winner and put us through to the next round, where I did not expect to be. And I kind of didn't want to be, because the board were already happy with where we'd got to, i.e. getting into the competition, and I wanted to concentrate on the league, given our great start. Unfortunately, we got brought straight back down to earth again in the next match, at home against bottom of the league Forest Green Rovers. This disappointed me to no end. We played so well in the opening sort of 25 minutes of this game. We'd already had about 10-11 shots at that point, created some good chances. Scott Duxbury was phenomenal in this match. He missed the game against Walsall, and Aaron Lewis did not have a very good game in that one, unfortunately, in his absence. But Duxbury put in a man-of-the-match performance here. Still lost, though. Luke Sharman gave them the lead from the penalty spot, their only shot of the first half. And in the second half, we just didn't have the same impetus about us and could not find our way back into the game. Very disappointed to lose at home to the bottom club, because I know we've taken some points off some big sides so far, which is fantastic, but the games I really target to win are games against the likes of Forest Green. So losing this one was a bit disappointing, but we're not scoring as many goals as we were before last season. But we're also not conceding as many too, so I do think the defensive changes we've made have definitely helped with Gray and John and the likes of those guys, basically. But regardless of that, all of that still leaves us sitting 4th in the league, which is mental, in all honesty. I did not expect us to that win against Stevenage, I think we were lucky. I will hold my hands up and say that we probably should have lost that game, maybe taken a point. But against Chesterfield and Colchester, I think we were very, very good and deserved the victories. Against Forest Green, maybe we did as well, but we didn't get it. So it's all kind of swings and roundabouts. But overall, 9 points from our first 4 games is very, very strong. I don't think it's going to continue, and I know I said that last year, but this is a much, much higher level. And with the injuries and whatnot on the fixtures, I do think we'll start to slip down. But even getting ourselves 7 points clear of the drop zone so early is definitely a bonus for me. We're looking okay attackingly and scoring a few goals, but the main difference has been our defence. Like, we weren't bad defensively the last few years, but the fact that Moulton, as you saw in the Stevenage game, has been called into action as making some worldy saves, I think he's the difference this year between us maybe struggling against relegation and perhaps finishing mid-table. Some of the things he's been pulling out genuinely have been phenomenal. Can't remember whether we're at home or away. I think we're away. No, we are actually at home. Back-to-back home games. Maybe we can pull ourselves back from that result against Forest Green and get things going a bit more. I'm fired up. I've got my coffee and there's marshmallows in it and everything. And also, don't worry, next episode is going to be a double live com. I'm not really sure against who just yet, but I have to record 3 videos today and it's a bit of a tight situation, so it's best if we do a double live com anyway, because those are always fun and they're a little bit shorter to record. Those of you as well, I'm interested now actually, given the way we've started, those of you that have done Stockport saves, most of you said that you actually got back-to-back promotions, which filled me with a bit more confidence about the fact that we've managed to at least keep step with you. How did your first seasons in League 2 go? What signings did you make? And those of you that have done, perhaps not with Stockport, but the same thing back to back into League 2. How did your first seasons go? I'm kind of interested to sort of see where we might end up this year if we keep on playing, because I don't think it's going to be quite as good as where we are, but I'd settle for mid-table. That's what I want. Just safety this year. Build, you know? Maybe we can have a push at promotion next year. I don't know. I'm still not sure. And you know I like to be a bit pessimistic about these things because I'd rather promise very little and deliver loads than do the other way around. This is how you end up presenting episodes in giraffe costumes. So match preview. Obviously, we are massively not favourites for this game. Bradford, I mean, they've still not been great, to be honest. They are missing... Wow, Craig Gardner's out with a fractured lower leg. It's a kind of similar story. Injuries galore for both sides, but hopefully we can cobble together a team with our new strength. Unfortunately, with high injury risk on every player, there's going to have to be some rests today. It's undeniable, which means today is going to be the first start of the season for Bruno Bridges. I was going to send him out on loan this year, but he's proven to me that he's good enough in terms of his rating compared to everyone else that he actually can forge himself a first-team spot or certainly a backup this year for us. In the defence, John Gray's probably good enough to start, but we might have to drop Cameron John and maybe bring in Morgan Feeney, who put in a really solid performance, I think, against Walsall. Duxbury might drop out as well. I'm going to give Aaron Lewis another chance there. He had a really bad game against Walsall. I don't know why, considering we won, but he just got skinned. Booty might have to start there with DeMeo. It's not ideal. Magoma will drop out and we'll bring in Moody Moo. And as for the right-hand side, Jack Payne's also injured, which does not help us. Bellich is injured too. Actually, we might have to go with Moody Moo and Magoma. Because we've got little options there. We still have little options. The injuries have not helped. Chris Thorpe, knackered. Don't worry, JTB to the rescue. I would play Jaden Anthony there, but he's just not a striker. Shadipo can't really start either, unfortunately. But that's fine, because we've got Darren Stevenson. And Che Till actually does look like he's fit enough to start this game. That's the best I can kind of cobble together here. There's going to be a lot of changes. We've focused a bit more on team cohesion, and some of the links, well, they're not really building yet, but it's going to take a while. On the bench, we're going to go with Hinchcliffe, John, Shadipo, Anthony, Matt Casey, Ashley Palmer, and George Danaher. Not George Danaher. Well, I'd rather have Chris Thorpe on the bench than George Danaher. He is gonzos. Something else that's kind of interested in me is that I don't think any of the goals we've scored this season have been from set pieces, which has been quite pleasant, actually. I want to see us score a few so I can remember that we still do that, but it's nice to see us score a few goals from open play, and I really think that the reason behind that is the addition of Shadipo and Tilt. Those two really have changed the way we play. Getting players in those positions that are really, really good for what we want them to do, I think has been an absolute game changer. That 16 crossing on Tilt has made a hell of a difference for me. And when Kane Hemmings backs, we'll see a bit more of that. Right, no point in beating around the bush. We might as well get into the match, submit teams, and let's get into this. It would be nice for us to get a win here, but I have a feeling I would settle for a draw, frankly, against a team like Bradford. They are expected to win this division. I think they've just struggled to a bit of a start. I think we're overachieving. I think they're underachieving. So a draw would be fair. Oh, they've got a regen in the team. Bunting. Right, let's go. Just move my microphone down a little bit. It's getting in the way. We're at home. And our home record this season, well, we beat... Who did we beat? Was it Chesterfield or Colchester at home? And we've lost to Forest Green. Our away record is actually better than our home one at the moment, which is a bit perturbing, but it's fine. Look at the possession we've got against them at the moment. We could really parlay that into something, perhaps in the second half. Robinson into the channel. Richards is through. Will Molt come up with something? He doesn't need to, as Richards has put it wide. Good chance for Bradford, though. That was a really bad first half. Just really boring for the most part. I think the only highlight was We haven't had a highlight since about 20 minutes into this match. A 0-0, but we're still looking much better defensively. And I'm really, really liking the fact that I think teams at this level aren't playing such hoofball, and it means we're not getting caught in behind quite as much, and it's making us much more solid at the back. We don't seem to be quite as potent going forward this season, but I'm fine with that, probably just because better defences. Feel a bit like a competition winner at the moment in this league. We're just happy to be here. I guess that might be helping us a little bit. Our sort of laissez-faire attitude of we're just happy to have a crack at this league is maybe helping us a little bit. We're not being quite so negative. Scannell, Richards, Lewis does well. Hopefully Lewis have a better game. Wow, look at the space for Thompson Brissett. Into the channel for Tilt. He's not in, but he's got Darren Stevenson with him if he fancies it. Can he dig out across? He's found Booty. Across for Moody Moo. Ooh, that could have been the chance. Team are looking really good here. Finally, an actual Gray. Can he square it? He might. There's a man in the middle. Thompson Brissett. Saved by O'Donnell. The second half is really shaping up nicely. Oh, God, I feel like this game's there to be won. Look at the stats. It's so heavily in our favour at the moment. Lewis. Gray. Saved by O'Donnell. We're getting better in the second half. Defensively are where the best ratings are coming from at the moment, so that might be an area. Oh, Maguma will surely shoot. Tilt! Saved by O'Donnell again. Second half. But then we always said Bridges is better at the defensive side of being a fullback than he is at going forward, frankly, because he doesn't have very good crossing and sort of dribbling. Magoma into the channel for Darren Stevenson. Breakaway chance. Oh, Tilt's at the back post. Thompson Brissett, can he square it? Moody Moo, yes! Alec Moody Moo, 56 minutes into the game, scores not the score. What am I talking about? Scores the goal that gives us the lead. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? This is a wonderful counter-attack. It really, really was. We've caught Bradford on the break here, despite having loads of possession. This is a lovely ball inside from JTB. Slips it across. There's players lining up, and Moody Moo slots it in the bottom corner. It's 1-0 to Stockport County. Would that put us into second? Third? I might, since we're losing a bit of the possession, just turn it back onto positive for the rest of this match. See if we can hold on for another 1-0 win. Bit boring, I gather, but, points are what matters right now. In behind, JTB's on. Can he score? Saved by O'Donnell. The second half has been all Stockport, like, comfortably. I might even give Chris Thorpe a little tryout since, you guys want to see him in action, and now a cat's trying to come out. The rest of the changes, well, there's 3 centre-backs on the bench. That's definitely a my bad. We'll leave it for now. We don't want to make 3 subs at this point. We've still got 20 minutes left in this match. Bradford don't look fresh enough. Reeves, back post again! What a save from Molden! I don't think we can argue and say that we don't deserve the win in this game. We've been phenomenal. Thorpe. Not quite for Shadipo. However, Magoma picks it up. Can we get the ball through to someone here? Thorpe. He's got ducks. Lewis on the overlap. Can he find the cross? Ball in. Cleared away. Thorpe. On the volley tries to get it in there. I mean, that is an absolutely stunning win. But again, this is what I mean. It's a 1-0 win in a game where we have been absolutely flawless in most areas, and we're not taking enough of the chances for my money. Like, I'm massively happy that we won the game, but it does concern me that if someone was to start to get a bit more of a few chances against us, I could easily see us losing a few games where we perhaps deserve to win. Based on that, we do need to get a bit more clinical in front of goal, and I'm hoping that when Kane Hemmings comes back, that could be the difference for us. But it's another win. It's amazing. I literally cannot fault the lads' effort. We sit 4th in League 2 after 5 matches, 12 points. We're only 1 point off the top. Yes, our goal difference isn't as good as the likes of Port Vale and Shrewsbury, and they're still unbeaten, in fact. But still, we're right up there, and we've beaten Chesterfield, who've won their 4 other matches. So it definitely bodes well, being 10 points clear of the drop zone. I do still think that we are going to drop down, but we are still playing quite well, and maybe we can get a top half finish this season. That's where I'm setting my stall at for right now, but the team just seems to go from strength to strength. The new signing seems to have bedded in quite nicely. Slightly different style of play this year. Not quite so dominant on set pieces as we have been. Could be better defences. We're not scoring as many goals, but we're also not conceding as many goals, and that to me is the real key. 1 goal conceded in our first 5 games, and that was the defeat. But that's the thing. When we do concede, it does seem that cost us points. So yeah, next episode is going to be Millwall and Swindon, a double live com. Try our luck against Millwall, who are a League 1 side. They have been relegated in this save, as we know. And against Swindon at home in the league, with Exeter away in between. The games come thick and fast, all the way up until about here, and then it starts to tail off. It doesn't really ever tail off, does it? But anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, and I'll start to the season, 4th in League 2, not too bad, really, is it? I know we've had triple promotions once before, but that was with Wimbledon, and I think even if we did somehow get that this season, the Wimbledon one would be far more impressive, because the gap in quality between League 2 and getting into the Premier League is vastly different from going from the National League's North to League 1, if you like. Not that I think we're going to do it, but it's just really nice to see us giving ourselves a good chance at a decent finish this year, shall we say. Predictions, actually. Let me know where you think we are going to finish this year. My prediction, genuinely, I think we could maybe get like 10th or 11th, perhaps. There's going to be a spell where we start to struggle. I can feel it. But even right now, things are looking pretty damn good. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, drop a like on the video. That would be superb. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this as we continue our rather nice run. And I'll meet you guys in the next episode for a double live com, one in the cup, one in the league against Millwall and Swindon. Hopefully we can take something from Exeter. I don't know. That could be quite difficult. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.